Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Shem Shah, double line to the apostles GMS. This is Noah Allah coming at you with another video. I'm in my car right now. I just woke up like 30 minutes ago, and the Spirit jumped on me to do a lesson, so I'm gonna do a lesson through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah. Now, in the wake of all of this coronavirus stuff going on, you got a lot of people out there that's panicking. A lot of people out there that's afraid. People saying, "Oh, I pray that God covers the earth that He created." I was on I just saw that on the website. Cardi B said that, and you got people saying, "Pray," and in other words, praying that this stops and things like that. We don't want it to stop, man. We had GMS. We don't want it to stop. When I say GMS, I'm talking about Great Millstone, man. We don't want it to stop, man. We want it to keep going. We want it to get worse. As a matter of fact, when we was out there teaching on Saturday, you had a lot of people. A lot of people was looking at us, and they was like, there was more like looking at us in suspense and worriness. Like, what are those guys talking about? Are they talking about the coronavirus? Those guys out here every week. That's the kind of look they was giving us. They was giving us a look like they kind of wanted to come up to us and ask us a question, but because they were kind of fit, but they was kind of fearful to approach us. But then at the same time, they looked suspenseful, like they wanted to see what was going on. You had cars driving past with their windows rolled down, wanting to hear what we was talking about. You had a woman, I'm not sure if she was like a Latina woman or like an Indian woman. And I say Indian, mean like Elamite, East Indian. But she could have been maybe like Trunchaba Benjamin. Could have been Guyanese. I'm not really sure. She was from a distance. But she had that Indian type look to her. So she could have probably, I'm not sure what she was. So maybe she was probably from like Guyana, Venezuela, so I'm not sure. But her window rolled down. She had a camera out recording us. She smiled at us, waved her hand. She pulled the camera out because she wanted to get us on video. She wanted to see what it was that we were talking about. And when people smile at people, and they do that to like try to alleviate any kind of like tension, like you're walking down the street and a white person, the Edomite, might smile at you. They wanted it to alleviate any kind of possible tension, like smile so that you could smile back type of thing. But people was looking at us in suspense, man, because they was worried. As a matter of fact, Tracy Morgan popped up to the camp, man. He popped up to one of the brothers' camps, about right up behind our camp, and he said, "Oh, that Great Millstone." He didn't even say Jim, "Oh, that Great Millstone," and he said he hoped that by coming to talk to us, he could just get a blessing, because people see what's going on. All them people know who about the Israelites, man. All them celebrities. Don't get it twisted. But here's what I wanted to get into: Matthew chapter 24, verse 1. I did a lot of talking, but the Spirit, had me say that stuff. So Matthew 24 and 1. And Yahweh Shah went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. So Yahweh Shah went out to the temple, and the disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahweh Shah said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? So the disciples went unto Yahweh Shah and said to him, Lord, what shall be the signs? What shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So the end of the world and the Lord's coming are in tandem. Tandem meaning like together, they're joint. When the Lord comes, that's the end of the world. The end of the world is when the Lord comes. The end of the world don't mean the end of the world as in the end of the planet Earth, but the end of the world means the end of Esau's world. Esau is a man in the Bible, but Esau is known as the so-called white man today, because Esau came out of his mother's womb. And when Esau was born, it said he was red all over like a hairy garment. Not that he was red and hairy, but his body was red all over. He lacked pigmentation. Esau was a cunning hunter. He liked to hunt. He was a man of the field. He liked the great outdoors. And his blessing was the sword, which is death, destruction. Whether it's missiles, whether it's biological warfare, whatever it may be, that's Esau's blessing. Death and destruction. That's talking about Esau, the so-called white man. And right now, this is his world. So the end of the world is talking about the end of Esau's world, the end of the so-called white man's world. And I'm going to do another video going deeper into that too, Lord willing. Lord willing. But I just want to mainly focus on a particular verse in this chapter. And Yahushua answered. I'm saying Yahushua because that's the one who wrote called Jesus Christ's name in Hebrew, Yahushua. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, take heed that no man deceive you. Take heed. Pay attention to what it is that I'm saying. Listen up. Take notice of this. Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed. Because Christ means anointed. It comes from the word Christos, the Greek word Christos. Let me click on that real quick. See? Christos. Christos.
Strong's G 5547. Christos.
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 Christos. Christos. And it says anointed. See? That's what it means. It means anointed. Let's go back. So it says, remember the question I was asked him. It says, tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world. That's Matthew 24:3. And it says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christos, and shall deceive many, meaning many shall come in my name and saying, I'm the anointed, and shall deceive many. So that's going to be a sign of the end of the world. That's why he said, let no man deceive you, because some people going to come and say, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And that right there proves reincarnation. Because the Lord himself, Yahushua, told the disciples, let no man deceive you. Meaning what? The time was going to come when the disciples were going to come back. See that? That proves reincarnation right there. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. The disciples already knew who the Lord was. They already knew he was the Messiah. But the time was going to come at the end of the world, which wasn't time when the Lord was on the scene. The time will come at the end of the world, where you're going to have people going around saying that they're the anointed. Don't be deceived by that, which the disciples won't be deceived. Why? Because they're the elect. But let's keep going. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Okay? See that ye be not troubled. So don't be troubled. You're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. What does it mean, be not troubled? See what that means. They don't want to load up. We go back.
Strong's G 2360. Thraeo. Thraeo.
Thraeo. To cry loud, make a noise, by outcry. In the New Testament, to trouble, frightened. To be troubled in mind, to be frightened, alarmed. So don't be troubled, meaning don't be alarmed. Don't be frightened. Okay? Why not? Why are you saying don't be alarmed, don't be frightened? For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Meaning, all these things will come to pass, but it's still not the end yet. So signs of the end, people going to be saying that there was the Messiah. Signs of the end was going to be that there was wars and rumors of wars. So, but don't be troubled, meaning don't be troubled in mind. Don't be alarmed. For all these things must come to pass. These things have to happen. People are going to come and say that they're the Messiah. It's going to be wars. It's going to be rumors of wars. But don't be troubled, meaning don't be alarmed in mind. Because all these things must come to pass. They must happen. But the end is not yet. It's still not the very end yet, because there's other things that got to occur. And it says what? Verse 7 is the point. Okay? For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So nation going to be feuding with other nations, kingdom going to be feuding with other kingdoms. And there shall be famines, which is what? When a famine is when There's a lack of food. You got you had the thing that's going on in Venezuela. Food shortages, famines. It says, and pestilences. What is a pestilence? You gotta find out what a pestilence is.
Strong's G 3061. Loimas. Loimas.
Loimas. Pestilence. A pestilent fellow. Pest. Plague. A pestilence. Any deadly infectious malady. A malady is a disease. Malady or sickness. Noun, malady. Plural maladies. Any ailment or disease of the body, especially a lingering or deep-seated disorder, a moral or mental defect or disorder. So a malady is what? A disease, man. Look right here. Merriam-Webster malady, a disease or disorder of the animal body. Malady, any disorder or disease of the body, especially one that is chronic or deep-seated. Any undesirable or disorder condition. Social maladies. So there you go. Malady, your dictionary, right at the bottom of your page. It says a disease, illness, sickness. So malady is a disease, man. That's what a malady is. A malady is a disease. And what you got going on with disease, you got going on. The coronavirus, that's a disease. That's a pestilence. Okay? It's a virus. All right? So a pestilence is a disease, a sickness, an illness, a virus, and earthquakes in diverse places. So it's going to be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. These things going to be happening in diverse places. I mean, in various places, various cities, various towns, cities, states, countries. Let me show you something real quick. This is ABC News coronavirus map tracking the spread in the U.S. and around the world. This is the COVID-19 or COVID-19 outbreak that began in China has sickened thousands worldwide. By Sunday, the novel coronavirus outbreak in the United States has grown to at least 2,952 cases in 49 states. The District of Columbia and Puerto Rico. There are outbreak clusters in New York, Washington State, and California, according to Johns Hopkins University, which is tracking reports and confirming them with local health departments. The number of cases in the U.S. and worldwide is the subject of some debate, as testing has been rolled out unevenly, and the criteria for diagnosis through clinical means or lab tests has varied from country to country. And here's a map: U.S. coronavirus cases. See? Number of cases. See that? So it gives you about like a size of the dot. The biggest dots is about, the small dot is like 5 or less. 50 is anywhere between that. The smaller circle you see here, which is number of cases on the left side of your screen. The smaller circle indicates 5 or less cases. And right between the smaller circle and the larger circle, it's anywhere between 5 and 50. Right above that is anywhere between 51 and 325. And right above that is anywhere between 326 and 700. So what you got here? All these different states across the country. See that? 642 cases, 36, 368, 21. You see New York right here with 613. California with 368. Okay? Florida, 76. Texas, 61. Okay? You know? So there's always different cases. I can't make out every one. I think that's Massachusetts right there with 64. What else? In my car right now. That was my thing on the. That sound was a sound from the thing under my pedal, my car. You know. Hawaii got 5 or less. So this thing is getting out there. Let's go back. Despite the growing number of lab-confirmed cases in the U.S., the figures pale in comparison, for instance, to the seasonal flu, which kills an estimated 12,000 to 61,000 people per year and affects between 9 million and 45 million people in the country alone, according to the CDC. Okay. What is unknown is how deadly coronavirus, which has no treatment at this point, is compared to the flu, or how serious its effects are for those who are sick but do not die. Of the cases in the U.S. pictured above, at least 48 were diagnosed in individuals who were repatriated to the U.S. Repatriated means like to go back home to your homeland, to the United States on government charter flights from Wuhan, China, and from the Diamond Princess cruise ship. But many others are cases of unknown origin or potential community spread, where there is no known nexus to travel. Cumulative coronavirus cases in the U.S. Okay, tracking novel coronavirus worldwide. Meanwhile, she says the total cases says 2,000. Yeah, going at least 2,952 cases. So from January 1st, from January 22nd, it said it was one case. This February 1st, it was 8 cases. So it rose by 8 times. So within 10 days, it rose from 10 times, from 8 times, from 1 to 8. And then within 14 days, just 2 weeks, it rose from 8 to 15. That's almost 16. That's almost double. Then by March 1st, another this year was a so-called leap year, so that's 15 days. From February 15th to March 1st, it rose from 15 to 76. That's 30. So that's 30, 45, 60, over to 76. So it rose about 5 times the amount. And then from March 1st to March 15th, within 14 days, it rose from 76 all the way to 2,952. Now 76 times 10 is 360. 76 times 10 is 760, which means 76 times 20 is about 1,500. And so basically 76 times 40 is about 3,000. So basically it rose 40 times within the past 14 days. See, that was in the past 14 days. The cases in the U.S. rose by 40 times. Tracking novel coronavirus worldwide. Meanwhile, the virus, officially known as COVID-19, COVID-19, has spread to dozens of countries and regions around the world. The novel coronavirus outbreak. Word novel. I keep saying novel. Novel. Definition of novel. Entry 202. An infected prose narrative that is usually long and complex, deals with human experience through a usually connected sequence of events. So novel deals with the human experience throughout a connected, usually connected is it deals with human experience through a usually connected sequence of events. So the novel coronavirus talking about through human connection through a sequence of events, which is the increase of the virus. That's the sequence of events, the increase of the virus throughout time. Sequence of events with this person getting it, that person getting it, so on and so forth. The novel coronavirus outbreak began in Wuhan, China in late December and has since sickened more than 156,400 people worldwide, including hundreds in the United States, and killed thousands, primarily in mainland China, according to data from Johns Hopkins. Nearly 74,000 people have already recovered. JHU said, that's Johns Hopkins University. But notice they ain't talking about the people that have recovered. That's about half of 156,000 right there. But they ain't talking about that. They want people to panic. Well, good. Let them panic. Now, this is a map of countries and territories with confirmed cases. Now, this don't mean every single last state in the U.S. got it, because the whole thing is red. It is giving you different places. You got Canada. You got Alaska. You got Mexico. The United States. You got Africa. You got South America. Except this one country right here. I can't make out what that one country is in South America. Okay? But you got Africa. You got Russia. You got China. Right? You got Japan. Let me see what that country is right there. That's not Antarctica, I don't think. Let me get that real quick. Bear me 1 second. I'm back. This country right here at the bottom. This country right here. As you see, the red, the largest one at the bottom is red. That's Australia, and this one up here is Greenland. That hasn't been touched. And that right there is I believe that's Iceland. That's Iceland right there. All right. So it's all over. We already know it's in China. Let's keep going though. But check this out. Virus spreading globally. Many cases have recovered. For most people, the virus causes only mild or moderate symptoms, such as fever and cough. For some older adults and people with existing health problems, it can cause more severe illness, including pneumonia. China has 80,854 confirmed cases, 66,923 people recovered, and only 3,199 deaths. Okay, 10% of 80,000 is what? 8,000. 5% is 4,000. So basically, less than 5% of people died. 66,000 of 80,000. That's about 75. That's about 80% almost. 66,923. You round it off, that's 67,000. Because 80,000. This is basically 80,854 is almost 81,000. 66,923 is almost 67,000. So that's basically about 80% of people recovered. Okay, because 25% of 80,000 is 20. 50% of 80,000 is 40. That means 60,000 of 80% is 80. So that's about it's about 80-something%. I'm sorry, 75,000. 20% of 80,000 is 25%. 40% of 80,000 is 50%. 70 is 50%. 75% of 80,000 is 60%, and 80,000 of 80,000 90%. So that's about 80% of people recover from the disease. And you got Italy. I'm not gonna read all of them, but Italy, 21,157 cases, 1,966 recovered, and 1,441 deaths. So almost the same amount of people died that recovered. So we see this thing is getting major. Well, we see a lot of people. We see people are dying from it, but it's all over in various places all over the world. Okay. See, like I said before, pestilences in diverse places. And you right here, you could check your state's health department for latest COVID cases, COVID-19 cases, and this is on abcnews.com. But you're not gonna really see them pushing this on the news, all right? Because they want people to panic. But you know what? That's a good thing. May they panic, man. May this thing never stop until the Lord come back. And I'm Lord will out through the spirit of how about I'm gonna do another lesson on it too, man. Going deeper into it, you know. So that I'm gonna close and say, oh praise the how about Shah, double lines the apostle GMS. I hope you learned something. Shalom.